Hello, everybody, and welcome to Session Zero character creation, campaign creation, whatever you want to call it. This is for our new stream, which will alternate weekly with Task Force Unlikely, because Strike Team Beta is on indefinite hiatus. Before we talk about characters or setting, I want to go around and have everyone talk about what they expect and want from this campaign. Combat, roleplay heavy, combat heavy. You want to explore this kind of theme, whatever you want to kind of talk about right now. Timothy, you're up in the top corner.
Here I am. Hi. See, I really enjoy roleplay. I enjoy it all. I guess I'm interested in exploration. The mystery side of it is always fun, figuring stuff out. I love character interaction. I think that happens though, and if it's happening, it's happening when you're doing combat. It's happening when you're doing traps and puzzles. You're in character, right? And combat's fun. I mean, it's cool to be challenged that way. It's cool to be or presented with situations that could be combat, and you are able to find another way if that's an option. So I mean. I enjoy it all. So, I don't know about a specific. I mean, I don't have any specific setting in mind. I mean, I'm interested to hear what everybody else has to say. So, if I'm starting, that's what I'm going to say. I okay. Don't know how helpful or not that's been, but that's what I got.
Soup.
I personally like a little bit of everything. I'm kind of very go with the flow. I'd say I probably tend a little bit more towards the role-playing aspect and enjoying that a little bit more, but that's not to say that I don't enjoy a good combat sequence either. Kind of like Timothy, character interaction is really what gets my juices flowing, or however you want to say it. So just really looking for that good group, good character moments, just, giving everybody kind of a little bit of their moment to shine or something, especially if we can do that as a group and really build that up together. That'd be really great.
Okay. Sean.
Andy, I have 2 words for you. Indiana Jones.
Okay.
That's what I'm always looking for in D&D. I want to swing on ropes, and I want to fight Nazis or villains that are like Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like a bad guy, who's trying to pull my heart out of my chest. That might be cool. Fighting on a boat in a storm, maybe. In general, let's see. Just if this doesn't happen on your show, but I'm just saying in general, I don't like pointless combats. You know what I mean?
Sure.
This room has 4 orcs in it, so let's spend a half hour rolling dice. I don't like that. It's if there's an encounter, I just want it to have, just have some kind of purpose.
You want it to have stakes.
Yeah. And just, I like to things keep moving, because I have no attention span. So if it's hard for me to focus if we do the same thing for 3 hours, but none of that's ever been an issue in this campaign. But in general, I just I like adventure.
Okay.
And all that entails, all the fighting on the side of a cliff, right? Right.
Yeah. Awesome.
Punching a dragon in the nards.
My nards. My dragon nards.
Exactly. Quest for the dragon nards. I think it all boils down to.
The first arc. The quest for the dragon nards.
Dragonard Z.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yes.
I don't think that would get us sued.
Seems intellectual
yeah, I
to
think we
think.
should copy licensing, save all of that.
There'd be 2 Dragon Balls. Amazing.
Need the Dragon Nard radar.
And Marty, as you take a drink.
Yeah. You know I'm the worst. I don't prefer combat, which makes me bad at D&D. At the same time, like there does get to be a certain mile marker where you're wasting D&D if you're not getting into some fights. But I will always be the pain in the ass who tries to avoid it seems. But like Sean, and again, I find you to be pretty good at this, even when running things out of the book. I wanted to have some context. I don't like random encounters. We've discovered I don't think you like random encounters very much either.
Not really.
Yeah, I don't like that level of like, well, you guys are traveling for 8 hours, so here's a table I'm going to roll it on to see what happens next. I want the story to kind of be king. Obviously, I love chewing scenery and role playing, and I want, even when we are in a fight, for the role playing not to stop, and for who and what we're fighting to have enough context to engage with one way or the other. But yeah, I'm the bad D&D player. It's just kind of like, meh. Is it a fight again?
Right.
Which isn't to say I'm anti-combat, but Andy and I have been through that a couple times as far as my complex feelings.
Okay.
Also, ninjas would be cool.
I gotta say, Sean, you're giving us the most actionable content, I think.
Yeah. I mean, no one else said anything about punching Nazis, and I could do
I
punching Nazis.
I have to say, I feel like Sean really expressed what it is that
Yeah.
I'm kind of, I feel the same way, really. Like adventure, daring do, that kind
That's
of,
it. Daring do.
It's
Yeah.
daring do.
I wrote down
Not spelled
right.
how
And
you
when
think usually.
we're successful, we're like daring done.
Yeah.
daring do.
When we don't, it's like daring don't.
Daring didn't.
Daring
Mm.
don't.
Oh no, you
Daring
daring.
don't.
What about Daring Maybe?
What's that?
What about
What?
Daring Maybe?
Daring maybe.
Maybe.
I like it. Daring.
Sounds like a
no.
It's like a daring delay, basically. Then.
Ah, that's what the D&D stands for.
What about
Daring and
Ooh,
do.
that's hard.
That's it. Daring do.
Daring
Quest
and
for
do.
the Dragon Nards.
I think we're done here. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
See
you know,
you
I think
next
you-
week.
See everyone in 2
I,
weeks.
I wanted something to swing on, and I think we found it. I'll look at
Right.
that.
Dragon Nards to swing on.
Yeah. Daring do
Pendulous.
Dragon Nard Z, I think.
Yeah.
Print it. Soup's already got a laser monk. We're happy with it.
I've got Goku. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm
You
in.
still have that book with the cardomancer in it, right?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Cardomancy? Do it.
They actually just announced another book today that had a class I was really interested in, but I can't remember what it is now. I'll look it up later.
Throw him a plug. What's the company again?
It's the EN Five-Iter. It's
Yep.
EN Insider. They made a touch of class, which you can get.
Yeah, it's a
Pretty
cool
sure.
book.
It's got like 7 new classes in it. I like a lot of them. They have an updated warlord that I think is pretty neat from 4E.
Yeah.
Oh,
Called the
cool.
Noble. They have cartomancy where you get to use tarot cards.
Do you use the actual deck, or do they use the Taraka deck, or do they have their own deck?
I
Or...
think they just use a tarot deck.
That's cool.
You
Um,
activated my trap
that-
card.
Yeah, and it's very Yu-Gi-Oh. It's all left up to fate. They have an alchemist, and you can be a monster. They have like in 4E, you could pick the class vampire.
Mm-hmm.
I love the For You Vampire. I played
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, and I just got an email from them today saying they will be doing another Kickstarter soon, and it looked like there was some cool stuff in there. So,
Cool.
check it out.
Won't you?
Okay. So, that's all good and important stuff. I took lots of notes. I filled up my sheet, which is probably a mistake already, since we're 10 minutes into this. So, do you guys want to talk about character ideas, or do you want me to run through some of the settings I was thinking of first?
I think we should do settings because my character idea will probably kind of depend on the setting.
Okay.
If that's okay
sure.
with everybody.
Is that good with everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I am not, this is not exhaustive. This is just kind of where my head is at right now. So the first one are the Moonshae Islands, which are off the Sword Coast in the Forgotten Realms. They're very much, kind of druidic, Gaelic, fairy-inspired. Fae are a big deal over there. Eladrin.
The Moonshaes?
The
You're talking about
Moonshaes.
Moonshaes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's different than adventuring on the Sword Coast, but it's still the Forgotten Realms, so it's still kind of, and most of these will be Forgotten Realms. There's two that aren't technically, but they also exist parallelly. There was a once united kingdom there under a high king, but it has fractured and broken into various factions. And they're Celtic inspired, powerful fae, druids, kings, vampires, giants, and lycanthropes all kind of vie for power there. The adventure could feature exploration, sailing, political encounters, and then kind of picking factions that you want to support or hinder. And yeah, kind of generally shaping the future of the Moonshae Isles. So there's that.
I like the Moonshaes. The 3 adventures I ran in Gen Con this past year were all Moonshae.
For Baldman Games.
Yeah, it was the Baldman thing. So yeah, I liked them. I liked the setting.
And Dan in chat said Sailor Moonshae, so we could just keep it going.
Bring back
Dan's right.
Yeah,
He's never been right, or I don't think.
I think this is the rightest you've ever been, Dan.
And so if you literally lit it up like an anime just now when that was said, and that's why I start joking.
Listen,
I saw hard like
I could play a magical girl.
listen. Any mention of anime, I'm gonna be there.
Okay. So that's that. Going further south, we could do Kalimshan and the Lands of Intrigue, which are Kalimshan, Tathir, and Tathir, every little bit you ever read about Tathir is just political intrigue, backstabbing, just lots of it. It's just, you pick someone and you put your money on them, and then when they die, you pick somebody else. Like, it's all just backstabby Machiavellian bullshit. Not bullshit. If that's, because it's fun.
if that's what you're down, right?
Yeah.
Is kind of like colonial Spain, like expansionist colonialist Spain. They're super into gold. They don't like arcane magic users, but it's a merchant's paradise. And then Kalimshan is the greatest place in the world. It's a place where you can go to make a shit ton of money, and then the poorest of the poor still live in squalor. It's very much a place of kind of everything has two sides. It's ups and downs.
And it's like late Middle Kingdom Egypt kind of flavor. Is that Kalimshan or
kind of more Arabian Nights?
Okay.
That's what I had the
Arabian Nights,
impression,
because that's Al-Qadim. But it's still very they don't like genies because genies used to be in charge. And they kind of look down on adventurers because to them, if you have money, you should be living a life of leisure, not going into tombs for it. That's kind of gross to them.
Liz said D&D Las Vegas.
Yeah, Callum Shan, as Daniel, is kind of Agrabah. It's
Yeah.
but also Las Vegas-y.
Yeah, I'm probably thinking more of Mulhorund.
Mulhorund is more Egyptian.
Yeah.
Which we can do Mulhorund. We can go to Egypt. We can do Ravenloft. You guys know I love Ravenloft.
I've never done Ravenloft myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only osmosed it.
Now, do you mean Barovia specifically?
No, I don't mean
You've
Barovia
done
specifically.
some... Because I know for a fact
well, then
you've done some Ravenloft.
Yes.
But-
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I would not do Barovia specifically. It would be one
Okay.
of the other
Dread Realm.
second-y Dread Realms. And we've done 5 on stream. Takis, Odiare, Headless Horseman, Dead Man's Laughter, and Keldon, which I made up. And
We came up with a bunch of good ones
I've
there.
done 2 of them.
Newsies.
Yeah.
Cats.
Oops, all ghosts.
Oops, all ghosts.
Oops, all ghosts. Which I think has a lot of miles.
Footloose.
Footloose, the Dread Realm. I'm just saying, there's a lot of wiggle room.
And then we did 2 in the home campaign, which Marty is in. We did the Burning Peaks, where Vecna and Kaas are. And
Oh, fun.
okay, so there's those 3.
What level is that campaign?
They're level 10-ish now.
And we're the reason that what's his name doesn't have all 3 parts of Vecna.
Yeah, they are the reason
We gave it to Kaas instead,
Yeah.
and
It's a lateral.
That
move
was
at
fun.
best. He's trapped.
it was a lateral move at best. I think that about establishes the success rate of that.
I've always wanted to do an Underdark themed campaign, so we could do something Underdarky. We can do Spelljammer, which there's just lots of potential in Spelljammer.
We know what Sean wants.
I think we found Sean's anime.
Indiana Jones.
And then we could do something in Westgate, which I was telling Marty. If Waterdeep is Metropolis, Westgate is Gotham City, except Joe Chill also shot Bruce Wayne. So it's just terrible.
Interesting.
And there's no Thomas Wayne Jr. Owlman running around.
Nope. No, everybody's dead.
It's not.
The
Damn
Joker's
it.
been in charge for like 15 years.
Oh, well, I do like an Earth 3. We could do a fun vibe with that.
So that is to say, that's kind of where my head's at right now. I'm pretty flexible. If somebody wants to do something kind of more urban-y that isn't in a shithole, we could do Baldur's Gate or Waterdeep. But yeah, so what do you guys think about that? What immediately stuck out to you? I think Sean lit up.
Has
at
made his feelings
Spelljammer.
clear.
Let me read the list real quick. So, Callum Shan, Ravenloft, Underdark, Spelljammer, or Westgate. Those are the choices.
Yeah.
And the
And the
Moonshade.
Moonshade Islands.
And the Moonshade Isles.
Oh, how did I miss that?
They have like hags and like it's
Wait,
all
wait.
fey specific.
Moonshade.
Okay.
Those are 6.
Those are the
So,
all the votes
I
counted.
personally, whatever. I'll do whatever. But my top 2 choices would definitely be Ravenloft, because Ravenloft is cool, especially if we're not in Barovia. That would kick butt.
Mm-hmm.
And especially like if we were going to, you know how they had the fear and horror checks. I don't know if you do anything like that. That would be awesome. And I have a Taroka deck. I don't want to brag.
Oh, I wouldn't too.
Oh, nice. I had to print my own. But
Sorry.
You guys have them at the ready.
Yeah,
Like
wow.
that's weirder.
It's yeah.
And,
Right.
The thing about Spelljammer is I love it, but I know some people it just really rubs them the wrong way. So, I mean, I would obviously love to do that, but I'm not going to shoot myself if we don't.
I would say it was evident that was your number one.
I mean, we could name a ship We could each have our own ship, maybe eventually.
I
We could fight Yogi slavers. We could go from any setting we want. We could fly through the phlogiston, which is highly flammable.
And I
Sounds great.
fluted this idea to Marty before. One of the things that I think I would want to try in Spelljammer is if you want to eventually, like as you build up your ship and as you get more NPCs, everyone could create an additional character, and then that character is just on the ship, and when you want to play them for an away mission, you're like, hey, I'm pulling in Joe Spelljammer.
That's just an
I'm pulling in
Joe Spelljammer.
Christopher Summers, who's going to start being a cat girl.
Yes.
Better.
Sarah.
And also,
Christopher Summers jokes never get old.
Also, we can fight space orcs.
Mm-hmm.
They're called Skrull, which cleverly is orcs backwards.
I don't want to embarrass you. They're called sporks.
No, that's the orc Vulcan crossbreed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sporks.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
All right. Who wants to go next?
Oh, about favorites? I want you to go next.
I'm marking down who is
You're
picking.
not ready. I'll talk.
Marty's
I'm keeping a record, so just so you know.
Totally not judging you for your choices later.
And so if we're in a campaign and something goes horribly wrong, I wanted Spelljammer.
Well, you
Right.
voted for Westgate.
Right.
We could all be spell jamming right now. And we're
Instead of
stuck in the
drinking
fucking
Joe
moonshades with these
Right.
goddamn hags.
Right.
We could have been fighting space
Cut
hags.
to-
They're infinitely better.
Exactly. Cut to alternate universe where we're fighting space hags, and we're like, we could be in the moon shade.
Oh, it's all quiet and pleasant.
Wonderful.
Super
Singing
Timothy, do
mournful
you want to go
Celtic
before Marty?
Dirges.
Well, I've expressed my appreciation for the Moonshays. It has a real sort of swampy, misty, magical, dark fae, light fae, etc. I love the idea of spelljamming. I think it sounds cool. Ravenloft too. I honestly, I like our team. I'm willing to go. I trust everybody, so I'm not going to rock the boat. I don't have any strong things necessarily. Maybe not a urban campaign.
Okay.
That's probably the only thing. Not that I'm opposed to spending time in the city and stuff, but I live in New York City and I see this stuff every day.
Sure.
So, and I work in the theater, so need I say more? So yeah, but yeah.
Okay.
Like it.
Moonshay, Spelljammin', or Ravenloft.
Yeah.
Marty, you want to go, or do you want to pass the buck to Soup?
No. You guys go.
tenting
I don't.
your fingers.
No, yeah, I-
Now,
Cood.
No, my favorite thing about this is it's not just going to be me and Heslin for 2 hours being like, I'll do whatever. So I will do whatever. So let's everyone else go and I have answers, but
Okay.
I feel my answers will be the least important.
Well, we care. But okay, yes. Clancy.
So I think the one that immediately draws my attention is Moonshay, just because it has a lot of things that I kind of dig and tend towards. That being said, I also wouldn't mind mixing it up with something different. Ravenloft stuff is always interesting and fun, especially if we're not doing Barovia. That is something interesting. That being said, I do feel like we've done a lot of that on this channel, so I also wouldn't mind
What are you
mixing
trying
it
to
up
say?
from that.
Sorry. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Dark Lord Andy just manifested, guys.
Where's my fog machine?
Oh god.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just joking, of course. No, because we have done a lot. We have done.
I'll fuck it up
Yeah.
for you. Hang on.
As I said, we've done 4 different Ravenloft
Yeah.
one shots or campaigns or 5.
Yeah.
Sorry, 5. Yeah.
Not that Ravenloft doesn't have like a lot to offer, but just saying that like I'm always in it for like something new and different. So like it's kind of like, oh, we've kind of done Ravenloft and we'll do Ravenloft again. We'll get to it, but like so it doesn't like immediately like grab my attention. Underdark is probably another one that I'm super interested in. Just because
I could agree with that one too.
like the Underdark is always something that's kind of like interested in me personally, and then I liked when the C team went down there refishly. So I think that there's some cool stuff we had down there. I will say that the only reason why Spelljammer doesn't immediately like draw my attention is because I don't know a whole lot about it. So
Spelljammer is I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. So it is very lightly sci-fi. It is sailing through the stars on a literal sailing ship that can fly through space. It creates its own little bubble of atmosphere, and it's pirate adventures through space. You go to planets, you can meet space elves. They fly. There's like giant nautiluses that fly through space. Every D&D setting has its own sphere, and you go through the crystal spheres, and you can go to realm space for the Forgotten Realms, Oath space for Greyhawk, Kryn space for Dragonlance, and it's kind of planar travel-y, but you're flying through space on a big ol' schooner. And as Sean said, it's also super flammable, so don't cast Fireball.
The ships are magic. There's no technology. It's all magic based.
In fact, you need magic users to fly it.
They put on like a Cerebro, and it lets them fly the spaceship.
Right.
And mind flayers are a big deal.
And expend like spell slots to make it go, right? Like
I think in old editions you had to like permanently spend hit points.
Oh, jeez.
But I don't. That would not be true. I would probably make you spend spell slots.
So I'd probably put that in like a solid third for me, or like maybe tied-ish with Underdark.
Sure.
And then
Sean's judging.
yeah. As for Kalimshan, in that area, it just kind of sounds like the same stuff as Moonshade, but like flavored less how I would like it. So
okay,
I'd probably put it down in like 4th place for me. So, and then the rest is kind of whatever.
Sorry. In chat, Shauna said, "If you've ever seen the Disney movie Treasure Planet, that's Spelljammer."
Okay, yeah.
100%.
So like
Thank you, Shauna.
tied-ish for second, probably leaning more towards third.
Oh, it went to second place. Thank you, Shauna.
I
don't care what we pick. I don't care what we pick.
Well, thank you, Sean.
I am a neutral observer. Of course.
I still think though Moonshade tops it for me though, because that's really my like jam, my cup of tea.
Captain of the Dragon Hearts.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. I can't stop you guys from naming this ship the Dragon Nards, but I can certainly try.
I don't know why you'd waste your time.
The Moonshades is islands. I mean, maybe we could combine them and have a vessel that can like somehow.
Yeah, I thought it was more a seafaring setting. I may have misunderstood the Moonshades.
It is, because you have to sail a bunch to get there, and then it's a bunch of little islands, so you have to sail between them, and like people control, the various waterways and stuff like that. So it would definitely be, there would be some high sea adventuring as well.
It's like a Celtic archipelago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Archipelago.
Lightning Fast says the Dugan's Hole Dragon Nards.
Everyone dies. So
Wow,
maybe we have to put
new record.
Maybe we have to put the Dragon Nards in Dugan's Hole. Could be a quest.
The only other game I've seen people die during character creation is Paranoia. So good job, everybody. You did it.
That's beautiful.
Marty, you can dodge no more.
Your move, Andy.
That wasn't my move. I already talked about what I like.
Did you? No. All right. Well, I have a taste and a temptation for urban-born adventures, but I think we're already away from there. So, let me see. My only hesitation about spell jamming is I'm also going to be on a straight-up sci-fi stream, but I don't think they're really competitors. There's some obvious similarities, but they're not really occupying the same space, just due to the like kind of late Victorian like weirdo, like they're using phlogiston and spheres.
Yeah, it's very
like, they're
Jules
way
Verne and
yeah, it's way out there.
It's more like Final Fantasy IX in space than
Yeah. That's a oh man, you're talking me into it. So yeah, as far as Ravenloft, we've been very successful there in one shot or many shots. So I'd kind of echo Soup there. One thing that was floated very early in this channel, one thing that was floated to me very early in this channel was the idea of traveling between Dread Realms and actually using Ravenloft writ large as a setting. I think there's still some meat on that bone. Otherwise, I think personally, I would hesitate to run a campaign there. Otherwise, because I mean, part of it is just that it wears you down, and I think the long term fun of Ravenloft will be laid bare pretty quickly, as far as just like, oh my god, everything's awful everywhere. The physical laws naturally trend to awful, like Earth 3, as we mentioned earlier. At the same time, I think if we were able to travel between and like play politics between realms, I don't hate that, and I think that would be my angle on how I'd enjoy it. Spelljammer, I have to say, yeah, I've never played it myself. It's got a lot of juice and weight to it. I'd be interested to see what's there. After that, it's probably roughly tied between Underdark and Moonshae.
The Undershae.
well,
Wow.
and Underdark could come up in other various like Moonshae. I would probably have the Underdark come up.
Yeah.
Okay, but it seems to me.
I think we've eliminated a couple of the
Yeah.
variants.
So Kalimshan's out.
Mhm.
Westgate's out. Urban Adventures are out. So
I guess purely urban adventures is
right.
the only thing I was saying.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
yeah, because there are certainly still cities in the Moonshae, and you will visit cities
Right.
in Ravenloft or Spelljammer as well,
Or-
and
Right.
Underdark.
Right.
Okay, so it seems like the three most common answers then are Moonshae, Spelljammer, and Ravenloft.
Mhm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, it did seem like Spelljammer was up higher on everyone's list. It was 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think Soup was the only one who was explicitly Moonshae over.
One thing I'm worried about is if we do it, some of you just might not like it. And that might be weird, you know.
Well,
Oh,
that
Moonshae?
is
Or Spelljammer, you mean?
Spelljammer, yeah. Well, if that's the case, we could make it a mini-series and start over.
Or Crashland in the Moonshae.
Or Crashland, or you go back to realm space and your ship stops working.
Let's make it even a little easier. I would like to say, and I'll phrase it like it challenges, let's knock Ravenloft off as well. Well, only because I think we all agree that Ravenloft has juice, but we have been successful in doing our short-term runs of it, and I think it's not associated with this channel.
Right. No, and if I want to keep doing the realms hopping of it, where you go here, you go meet Frankenstein. I have very strong opinions about that Dread Realm.
Mm-hmm.
Adam is not the Dark Lord. It's fine.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. But as you said, because I would want to make it here's the whole continent of Ravenloft. But you're right, that drags on people intentionally. There's a reason why that's not necessarily a thing anymore, where you just pop in and out, because it's we spent 13 weeks in Barovia, and let's go anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Athos sounds nice. You're lying to yourself. It doesn't. Okay.
That's a tough pick for me.
So we're so we're at Moonshay and Spelljamming.
I would be willing to give Spelljammer a try. It's something that I have no knowledge of and have never done before, and so I'm down for that.
And again, if we do find that it's not everyone's flavor, we can crash land somewhere where the campaign changes. Or see, one of the benefits of spell jamming is the adventure can keep changing. So
if you don't even have to crash land. If you're just like, this planet's cool, let's just stick around on this planet.
Yeah.
Or and we get involved in some shenanigans.
10 episodes on, I don't know, Zebulon 5. Nailed it. Definitely a fantasy.
Nailed it.
Stupid, Andy. Stupid.
I think that's a club in Brooklyn.
Does Spelljammer sound good to everyone?
Yeah.
And remember the added benefit of being able to be like, today I'm going to be red shirt number 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you're having some kind of character, what's the opposite of inertia? You know, like if you're
momentum.
Yeah, like today I feel like doing something different, or this setting isn't going to serve my character, so I'm going to stay on the ship and scry.
Yeah.
While
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to provide support.
Jimmy. Yeah.
Which also, to add to that point, you never have to do that, and I will tell you when you've unlocked it. But you also, because I know, for instance, who Timothy's playing, and I know you really like that character, and we'll talk about them in a second. But if you never want to switch from that character, don't.
Yeah.
That is a consideration. How cool are you with Storm of Stars becoming literal Storm of Stars?
I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's all about the stars and the story. And...
Yeah.
And what a story it'll be.
Fuck yeah. Well, it's exploring, you know? It's like the end of Repo Man, where it's like, what about our relationship? He's like, fuck that, I'm going to space. You know, like, you see the ship? Like, come on.
Yeah.
With me. What he should have said, you know, but...
Now, in the homebrewed Bar Crawl crossover, Hava was given a Spelljammer ticket. Does Storm of Stars take that ticket?
Oh. Steal? No.
I didn't say steal. I said take.
Take without asking.
Borrow indefinitely.
Well, maybe go, what's this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look at this. What happens if I look at this ticket? I mean, how does that work? Just suddenly, is it like the Hogwarts Express or something?
I am absolutely going to guest star on our own stream as Hava at some point if that happens.
I love it.
And I invite it.
Sounds good.
So it has a location on it where you can take the ticket and you will fly on this ship.
Okay.
To the Rock of Brawl, and then you can... That's probably where we will start the campaign, which is...
The Rock of Brawl.
On the moon.
Wow. Cool.
We're starting on the moon, you said?
Yep. On the dark side of Saloon.
Is that where that door to the moon goes?
Don't worry about it, Marty.
Jesus Christ.
It's a real shame no one went through it.
History of our home campaign.
There's a door
to the moon.
Nobody went through it.
Can we make up the crew of their ship?
It's the moon. Mm-hmm. And, okay, so let's then talk... I mean, because we're going to be 8th level.
Yeah, so let's talk about characters and stuff.
8th level?
8th level.
And we're not committed to that necessarily yet. Although Storm of Stars might be canonically 8th level.
I am 8th, right. So
Yeah,
if
okay,
you want to
so-
go 10th, I'm fine.
So that
No.
listen,
If you want
okay,
to just go up to 20, whatever.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
I'll
fine,
start
you
at
know,
a soft
high level.
15.
Quick,
Right.
take a quick 20 level dip in Bard.
Yeah. But how would you want to start this? Obviously, we're starting the dark side of the moon, apparently. But like, are we an established crew? Well, I guess if Storm is coming in, we're not an established crew. That might already be
Yeah.
answering some of my questions. Is part of what's going to be fun for Andy Hatton for us starting from 5 people and a space boat to a crew and a cast that's building, and
I think that would be the most fun. It's just you guys on a little boat, and you'll, get better boats. You'll meet NPCs who you can be like, come on, you can be my helmsman. That person's like, okay.
Yeah.
We
I think
attract
that's a lot of-
retainers and allies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then eventually you all can create
yeah,
alternate player
Okay.
characters, or just NPCs that you think are funny. If you're just like,
Yeah.
I want Andy to do this voice that he can't do.
yeah, nice.
You've heard all of my voices, honestly. So that's it. That's all of them.
We'll send you one of those modulators.
Yeah.
I
You
would
can sound like
appreciate
your witness protection.
All right. Well, I think good news. Actually, I think it's only knocked one name off my list. Fair enough. Although I think the other is a hard out, but I think that's going to be for the best too, as a lot of our last night's musings already covered.
What, you don't want Vianti to go to the stars where the violet flame is?
I want that more than anything, Andrew, and you know that. Don't tease me. I'm just saying, I think they have a story yet to tell.
I
so
don't think that's a good idea to go there yet.
Listen,
Oh, yeah.
they can get to Spelljammer later. And
Yeah,
if
or-
that's the case, I need to get my other notebook.
Or we're speed running that bitch and going right to the source. You know, and screw all these bowls of the earth and sea.
Wait, no.
We're going to the
You
stars.
can't do that.
Yes, we can.
What are warp tunnels?
just-
Absolutely not.
Up in the corner of this wall, you eventually just
No.
skip through it and you're in
Hack.
space.
Hacksaws.
I can do it in 20 minutes.
You never said this was a glitchless run.
Mm-hmm.
Cast spot this shit.
Set your term.
That's such a noir line you just said. You never said this was a glitchless run. You know.
Okay.
Forget it, Vianti. It's Spelljammer.
Oh my god, now I just want them to spell jam so bad.
All right, new goals.
Yes.
Well, you know, that also takes on punning stuff with Storm being a bard in space as a spell jamming, like jamming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Play some fish.
Yeah,
Right. Play some fish. That's like fish.
So wait, Storm of Stars is a bard?
Storm
Yeah.
of Stars is a tabaxi
The
bard.
lore bard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tabaxi
It's a
lore
canon.
bard.
Tabaxi bard. Okay.
And he was in a previous campaign we played, and he earned the title, the legendary Storm of Stars.
I mean, it just happened.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it
A
was
very
good again.
enthusiastic merman.
Yeah.
Triton.
Oh,
by,
really?
by some Triton.
He was a Triton, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I like him. Carrick.
Carrick. He's a bard
Yes.
now because
He's-
Storm of
yeah,
Stars
he's a
inspired
bard.
him.
Well,
Yes.
is he? Which college is he?
He's level 1, so
Oh,
He
okay.
hasn't picked his college
he
yet.
hasn't picked his college yet.
He's in community college now,
Yeah.
and after 2 years, his credits transfer.
Getting his bard associates.
Yeah.
I honestly imagine he will pick blades and just be not good at it.
Mm.
Just kind of like trying to do sword tricks and wait, I can do it.
Oh,
Wait.
hang on, I'll be right
Wait.
back.
Ow!
Right.
Wait.
That's not what he talks like. But
No.
No, he was quite. He had this sort of showman aspect, which is what
Yeah,
I
he-
think that.
talked old fashioned because I like making Triton do that.
Yeah.
They learned it old from
Oh,
common.
they're all the and thou.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So did we want Sean to talk about his
okay, so
character
Storm
ideas?
of Stars.
Since Marty and I have a long list.
It is shortening a little bit, but
Sean, did you want to? You had mentioned an alchemist. Did you want to bring
Is it
that out.
possible in an Artificer from Unearthed Arcana? I actually just downloaded
The updated one
Yeah,
or
the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
the
can
updated
totally be the
one.
new one.
So I wanted to make a guy who's like, you know, kind of like Sherlock Holmes, but you know, not that smart. And he just, he's always looking for ingredients to make different kinds of like tinctures.
Mhm.
I wanted to make a list of like really stupid potions and stuff that don't really have any mechanical effect, but they just, you know, like grease your joints or whatever, like eye drops.
Snake oil.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that
Strawberry
kind of thing.
belch.
It's all just
Yeah.
cocaine.
With this tincture, you'll go all night.
Maybe he's like slightly like an anti-vaxxer, you know, and that I could hear you, but wouldn't you rather drink this?
Interesting.
Kombucha has a
Snake
lot
oil
of natural
salesman.
healing properties. Why does it smell so bad? That's how you know it's working.
That's how you know it's working.
Yeah. Scared of that.
Yes.
I don't do
a
kombucha.
quick but not prohibitive note to Soup. It will be super helpful if you are a spellcaster in this setting. If only so you can also help control the ship. Again, that is not prohibitive.
Mhm.
That is not. If you want to be a laser monk in space, live your dream, girl. I'm here for you.
Yeah,
I'm just
Captain
saying.
Marvel.
We can
If-
also
if-
try and hire crew to help with that.
Right,
too,
right,
eventually.
and
I'm
I
a
may
full caster.
beg that we start with a starter NPC who has some spell slots that we can use on long rests. But just in order to interact navigationally with the ship, you need to have some spell slots to be able to give. As I understand it, Andy, you correct me if I'm wrong.
That is, I have to look up some kind of. I wish Pruitt would publish his 5e spell.
Oh my
jammer
God, Pruitt,
Um,
do it! Nice, I got
um,
that. It sounds like the raddest list ever, and sounds like it was an immediate adventures out of the box with 2 dice rolls or 3 dice rolls.
But I will go over kind of what people do in 5e and kind of look back at old editions. Sean, do you in old because you know about spelljammer, in old editions you had to be a spellcaster to control ships, right?
Yeah. And my artificer just cast spells.
Okay.
So, but yeah, in older editions, it was like if you used a helm, then you couldn't cast any spells until your next long rest or something like that.
Okay.
But on my Dungeon Academy show, they have a spelljammer, and I just kind of ignore all that. They just fly the ship.
Hold on.
But I mean, if the ship takes damage, I say they get like hurt or whatever.
Okay.
But when you're sitting in the helm, the caster is able to see all around the ship at once.
Right.
So is it?
Meld
like
with the ship.
It's like concentration too, right? It's the only thing you can be
Yeah.
doing really, spell-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And listen, we may be able to talk Andy into letting key points count as spell slots or something. Again, I mostly have your laser monk as reference, but
Well,
Yeah, any sort of or a fighter's. Well, maybe not a fighter, but
Isn't there?
Well, and what I was gonna say is, so the classes that I really enjoy in D&D are ones that really are a mixture of like fighting and magic. Those are always the classes that appeal to me more than purely magic or purely fighting. So
same.
I don't have to play laser monk. That was just like Annie brought up DBZ monks, and it was like, oh, that sounds cool. But finding like a class that is somewhere between a fightery person and a spellcastery person also works for me too.
I don't want to correct you. It's DNZ. It's Dragon.
Dragon Nard.
But it's different in Japan. I don't.
Yeah, it's the translation.
Yeah, it's weird.
Sean, you might remember this. Isn't there a Spelljammer helm in Dungeon of the Mad Mage?
Yeah, I think there is way down there. Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember what level it's on?
No,
Okay. I will look that up then.
Is it
I don't.
in the index?
So far,
Oh no, it'll send you to see another book.
Yeah, no, there is no index.
Really?
And there is no magic items section.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't care for that part of it.
It's
Actually,
a discovery for DM and players.
finish that.
It's never been harder.
It's an opportunity to employ your own post-it notation system.
And he's pretty good at it.
Yeah, I use.
In his book.
Where do I have any? Yeah. I use like these little.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
I have a bunch of really cute ones of those from Japan.
And
I'll look that
he just covers the map and post-it notes, and as you reveal rooms, removes them. It's adorable.
I used to draw them out, and then I was just like, "Why am I? I can just photocopy the map
And
My book
occasionally,
and cover it in post-it notes."
great.
you accidentally go the right way and murder Duke Salto before you've done anything else.
My God, we'll have to talk about what they did to Duke Zalto because it's hilarious.
Dookie Z.
Dookie Z. They killed him in his man cave playing with his dogs. It just like ambushed him and just like took him out in like a round and a half.
Yeah.
What happened to the
Not
dog?
so tough.
They murdered those dogs.
Yeah. Sorry.
They're hellhounds.
Hellhounds.
Oh,
Yeah, no, like
they're not really dogs.
no, but when Evelyn encountered them in Dice Game Reaction, she kept going puppies, and I was like, they're hellhounds.
Mm-hmm.
They're horrible.
Yeah, Chris could have done. I mean, she could have go puppies and get the hell bitten out of her.
Oh, she did, and then she kept going puppies.
Oh, right. That's right.
Well, if most of you aren't even on the same floor as them because you can snipe from up to 120 feet away, it's very helpful.
Yeah, and you kept hiding in their Gundam.
Yeah.
And then
Also be super good against giants.
yeah, and
Have that
then
built
they convinced his daughter to leave, but don't go out that
girl,
room.
live your life.
Don't go out that room.
No. You know what this isn't? Spell jamming. Let's
Anyway,
get back
sorry.
to it. Spell casting. Jamming. That's it. That's all that's on my list. I have two things on my list.
Spells, jamming.
Spells and jamming.
Spelling and Jim. So would the away team people be like the same level as us, or would they be like down one or
I haven't
a
decided yet.
few?
And
Although I think it could be fun to just play like, all right, we're doing a 4th level today. Or you're a red shirt and you're a 4th level character in an 8th level campaign. Good luck to you.
They're
luck,
they're
son.
like junior officers or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Reporting for duty, sir.
right.
I wanted to
My
do
voice.
that.
You said to report. My voice changed. I'm halfway there.
Oh my god. I'm being eaten by Gorn.
you have a last name, guy.
Do I? Sorry, that's my favorite fucking bit in that movie.
It's great.
All right. So I have, because the one concept fits any setting and was one of my fallbacks, I have the tiefling, maybe warlock, maybe sorcerer, because she already has like an interplanar connection, and so can go between literal planes in the Phlogiston if we want to go that way. I'm oddly tempted to go Viliana. I thought the Underdark would be the draw there, but listen, that character's silly and works in space in a dumb way.
I there was something that it won't because it was in Kalimshan, but there are drow who live on the surface outside of Kalimshan, and they worship. Oh, I can't remember his name, but he is Lolth's heretical son, who's just like drow should live above ground. And I thought it would have been interesting if Viliana could meet them, but
Yeah. And there's my halfling wizard who hates DMs, also dice. Which I don't have a character for, and I usually don't build characters that way. I usually come up with a character and then kind of start to put the pieces together. This is the only one where I'm starting with race, class, and now we'll have to build a character around them. So that's arguably my reserve right now, because I don't know how I'd play them. And I keep seeing them as a boy, and I think it's well established I hate playing boys. So I would need to come up with some level of damaged woman to play there.
I think you can go two ways with it, because I think you can either do some hippy dippy who just gets lucky all the time, and and it's just, like it's just some charmed life, and you know you Mr. Bean your way through everything, or you play some actuarial table, you know, always with an abacus.
I'm accounting the laws of time and space. Yeah. And we can talk about this more so we don't go off on too much of a tangent. What if it's a Hester of somewhere else?
That's what I immediately thought of when you started talking about that character. I was like, oh, so a Hester.
Yeah, but like a spell jamming Hester doesn't need to even come from the same plane.
We have established that there are other Hesters.
There are other Hesters.
And almost certainly there are other Hesters on different planes, and they would, unlike, you know, Hester of Blue Valley, who isn't a real Hester, it's just they're crazy or whatever. No, you could totally be a Hester.
Oh man, that's tempting, and I can't wait to tell Ingrid. Okay, so
talk to Ingrid about that, but yeah.
Yeah, I have some ideas circled. One of them is a tiefling who is the daughter of a succubus who really wanted an Aaron and is a big disappointment to the family. The other is a halfling diviner wizard. They are fully built. This broken-ass concept is fully built at level 8. You take lucky, you take the thing that lets no one else in your party roll ones, you come without being able to roll ones, and you dock 2 spell rolls, or 2 dice rolls at the beginning of the day, and you hate DMs and dice. And look, all day long.
I have thumbs up this. I will hate it, but no, I want to see this character.
And I'm pretty sure I'm picking Web DM's pocket. I think that's the first I heard of it. And again, it's one of the few concepts. You're built by level 4. You're even better built by level 8. I very rarely get into, what's a good class and race build, and then not logically proceed with that. That's not how I think of characters. This is the only character that I'm really like, oh yeah, I want to see that combo. So I think I'm stuck somewhere between there. And actually, right now, the halfling diviner wizard is winning. With a dark horse in fuck it, I'll play Viliana. I have a few other NPCs that I can make characters in the wings, but
those are your top 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, we have the Tiefling Disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Viliana.
Is that their name? Disappointment.
That's their virtue name. Yeah,
that would be
kind of name.
Yeah,
that would be harsh.
Yeah,
and halfling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Timothy, Storm of Stars. Sean, you do you think you're going to go with the Alchemist?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a artillerist version,
and
he can make arcane turrets. So I'm gonna do that. I can make a flamethrower and a force ballista.
Hey, so shove people off of Spelljammer ships.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have my complaints, but I'll save them for the stream.
Marty's between 3. Soup, what are you thinking about?
Well, the only thing, looking at my list of characters, like I said last night, Moat, I'm pretty content with where I left her, so I don't really want to take her out of that right now. If we're doing spell slots are necessary, my Mrs. the Phantom Stir is kind of out of the question on that one.
Not necessary.
They aren't necessary and you will have
okay,
because Timothy has them.
Mm-hmm.
Sean has them as a half caster, and all of Marty's characters have them.
All of my options have them.
So it just means you wouldn't be able to pilot the ship. But as Marty said, eventually, and I will probably start you with an NPC who can pilot the ship.
Mm-hmm.
They may not be good at it, It might be Storm or Sean's character is the main pilot, and this dude can just do it. If all of you are injured or something, so you don't have to don't feel like you have to have spell slots.
Right. I was only saying that as a caveat that a caveat
It's the
almost.
mechanic that's established.
But if you want to be any kind of pilot, you will need spell slots.
Well, I guess like my converse to like that is that I do like characters that have spell slots. So like I can what I was building to was that my laser monk idea, the thing that I was the most sold on her was her race, which was Shatterkai. So I'm not necessarily 100% sold on like laser monks. So if I can find something else that I also like, then I'm just as fine playing that.
And if we want to talk about party makeup right now, we have a leader type in Storm of Stars. Using the old 4E terms, we have a healer, controller, leader. Artificers are kind of controllers, strikery, healer. They kind of fill a lot of slots. Marty sounds like lots of controllers. I will say I don't see a front line on this party.
That's what I was kind of thinking too. Which I just got done playing the big old tank and I didn't mind it any. But
Paladins are fun.
Yeah, I personally like being someone who can take a hit or heal. That tend to be where I'm at.
So I don't mind filling that role either. So I'm cool with that. I was gonna ask, besides just going like paladin, is there any other kind of like castery tank-ish kind of class?
Sure. There's the Eldritch Knight. Who Marty can attest are fucking impossible to hit.
Fucking broken.
You could do a multi-class with Barbarian. When you rage, you don't get spell slots. But there are people... I think I saw someone online once built a Warlock Barbarian where you don't care about casting spells. You cast them all before you rage, and then you rage, and they're just all stuck on you still because you don't have to concentrate on them. And then you murder people, you get a shit ton of hit points back, and then you just keep murdering people. But the tanks that have spell slots are clerics, druids, paladins, and some fighters.
Eldritch Knight does sound interesting, and druids are also always kind of a passive interest of mine.
And bards. You can make a tanky bard.
Sure.
Not super into tanky bards, personally. But, I'd say it's probably between Eldritch Knight or druid for me. And I'd have to look at the druid subclasses to see, or are there druid subclasses that read more tanky than others, or?
Yes. So the Circle of the Land is the tankiest druid.
Okay.
Because they are the best at wild shaping.
Okay.
There is a druid which uses totems, and that one can get tanky.
Okay. I think I've looked at that one before and really liked it.
The other druid is super healy, which is good. I mean, it keeps everybody up. Healing is like off-tanking. Well, nobody ever dies, so I'm just as good as a tank.
Yeah.
And then Circle of the Moon wishes they were a wizard. But, Circle of the Land. But,
Oh, so wait, are you saying Moon is tankier or Land?
I'm saying Moon is tankier. Land is half a wizard. I might have misspoke earlier, but
Right.
Okay. Yeah, maybe come back to me in a second. I've got to do some research real quick on thinking about that one.
An unforeseen consequence to my, because I just built one to level 8. I never actually take a stat increase, and so I'm stuck at an intelligence 14 to level 8.
Oh, well, that's less than ideal.
But I mean, I'm controlling rolls all over the place. But my spell save DC is 13.
Yeah,
At level 8, that's not great.
it's not great.
This is with that build you were talking about?
Yeah. But I can't roll ones. No one in my party can. I bank 2 dice rolls, and I have lucky, so 3 times a day I can make myself or anyone else re-roll. That's the whole bit, everybody. Welcome to the show. Like that's the whole thing.
Right. You're like the Destiny controller.
Yeah. And that's a fun, great concept, but yeah, because I have to skip my first 2 at least.
What's
Stat
the race?
increases halfling.
Halfling.
And so I can take stout, swiftfoot, or I actually don't know what the ghastlies do. I know Chromesthesia was pretty big into them, but unless they get an intelligence bump, I can't make
Let me see.
the stat bump work for me.
Oh.
Halflings, 108. Oh, I hope they're in this book, because I don't know where else they would be.
To the internets. Unless you find them.
They are not in this book.
Okay. I'll get them in a while.
Oh, no,
Ghostwise,
they are.
they are also called.
Oh, the Ghostwise ones, right.
They get wisdom,
Yeah.
but they can
So, yeah,
speak telepathically.
Yeah, I can't get an int bump without going like gnome, but then gnome doesn't get the lucky or the advanced lucky, which is half the pleasing point.
You could not take one of the feats, and then your spell save would go up to 14.
Yeah.
It's still low.
Right. Still low at level 8. But again, if I roll shitty low on my morning check, they didn't roll a 22 on that save. They rolled a 3.
Yeah.
And that's... I think that kind of self-corrects, but...
Well, then there's the whole idea of like a DM fiat feat at first level,
Yeah, can I play Ultimate Halfling?
No.
All right.
I'm just kidding. No.
I see how humans get all the luck.
They have to take it. It's a thing.
That's not exclusionary because again, I get to control people's dice rolls all day, having a low DC, and having a low DC can also be hilarious, like situationally hilarious. That's not to rip off friend David, who was on here as Miller Time, but that character's riff is that they're actually not that good at fighting. They just have the lucky feat and happen to succeed at just the right times. And everyone's like, "You're a hero," and they're not a hero. I think building from that same space, she's just lucky. The Rube Goldberg of events kind of clangs together until something good happens. And I think that can be mined for drama and content.
So she's like Domino.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I have a rad eye tattoo.
Did she get the name because of what you're just describing, like a domino effect around her?
Yeah, well, and
I've
Rob
never-
Liefeld could only name characters nouns.
Oh, right.
Even characters who weren't super people, like Bridge.
That probably would have changed if he'd been able to draw feet.
Probably.
Right? Because
Can't draw feet and can't name people like adjectives or verbs.
Listen, I have
What about Youngblood?
unresolved issues with Liefeld.
Yeah, what?
Let's not get into
God.
it.
What? I think you're the only one, Soup.
Yeah,
Did
really.
you ever read
He's universally beloved.
Alan Moore's Supreme? Anything you ever read that?
I have.
I love that.
It's good. You get past the Rob Liefeld art.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
I've
good.
read
It's amazing. They
I
eventually
love it.
attracted like top talent to write their books, which is hilarious because they were like, "We don't need no writers," and like then literally got all the writers, and those writers went to town. And yeah, Alan Moore ends up writing this prolonged love letter to Golden Age Superman.
It's really good.
It's amazing.
It was really good.
How long is the run? Oh, there it is. Okay,
20
cool.
almost like he had it on
Look it up.
hand.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love
Um,
this stuff. I want to get Promethea next. That's like huge.
I love Promethea.
I love
Right?
the
I
concept
started
of
reading it
Promethea.
when I was taking care of my friend's baby. I was like, when it was an infant, I was babysitting for them like a couple days a week, and he had this amazing graphic novel connection. So when she would be down sleeping on my chest or something, I just started reading through the Promethea, and I got through like the first 3 of them. But I want to get the whole
first-
because there's like 7 volumes or something,
The
right?
first 10 are awesome, and then it gets so weird, and I just don't get it. I still like it, but it gets so weird.
Right. That fucking
Wait,
artist,
Alan
though, my
Moore?
god.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wait,
it's
Alan
crazy.
Moore? Even better, Rob Liefeld didn't draw any of this.
That's
Thank
okay.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of Chris Sprouse, that guy, towards the end.
Ugh.
That guy was really good.
Down to earth Alan Moore totally doesn't worship a snake god Alan Moore. That's
Yeah,
not my Alan
totally.
Moore.
I love him. He's awesome.
He's wonderful.
He's a D&D character, right?
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
Totally.
Yeah, him and
He's an
Grant
NPC we keep encountering.
Yeah.
Grant
Well,
Morrison
and Alan
thinks he's a
Moore
druid
hates
who
Grant
healed his
Morrison.
cat. So,
And Alan Moore hates Grant Morrison.
yeah.
You don't know that he didn't.
Irrationally.
To be fair,
Yeah.
that cat lived.
Super irrationally.
Right? He's like, you're trying to be like me. Fuck you.
He seems like a very difficult person.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to meet him. I want to travel.
Understatement of the goddamn century, Sean.
Yeah.
Yes. He seems like a very difficult person.
Doesn't
He
get
seems
along with
troubled.
almost anybody. you know?
Yeah.
Man.
I want to meet him.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Spelljammin'.
Back to
Alan
Spelljammin'.
Moore's totally going to be an NPC now.
Right.
Yes.
I think he'd be a great dungeon master.
Yeah.
That's-
Oh my gosh. You wouldn't
Alex
know what is
left.
happening, but you'd be like, this is the best fucking adventure I've ever been on.
Right.
Yeah.
There'd probably be some like visceral effects. He'd like,
Yeah.
decapitate an owl in front of you and spray the table with blood.
Yeah. Immersion.
He would intone that northern dialect.
Yeah.
Immersion.
Immersion.
Put on some Hawkwind.
The fuck? I think I have blood in my mouth. Is this stuff clean? It's fine.
Supposedly, he did a ritual in real life where he burned like $3,000.
I love him. Fuck
Like,
yeah, that's like the
Yeah,
Joker
well,
level shit, right?
It was UK money, so whatever, a quid or whatever. But it was like $3,000. He set it on fire. Like you're a character. Done.
Nah, Grant Morrison's one of my favorites, and he similarly tried to use read spells for him, but I love him, and he can do no wrong, so don't worry about it. I'm sure he can do wrong. I'm not actually loving his Green Lantern run right now, but
I think we
Yeah.
should encounter 2 NPCs that are based on Alan Moore and Grant Morrison, and they're at war, and we have to somehow like
Oh my gosh.
the light and dark gods
Some
of the universe.
I was
narrative.
gonna say,
Right.
it's like the
Creator
Beyonder and the
God-
Anti-Beyonder or something.
right.
Unfortunately, Grant Morrison has already beat you to it like 16 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever listened,
Just read the Seven Soldiers of Victory, and you'll get to see it play out at least 4.
have you ever
Oh,
listened
I'll
to
read
any
it.
of Grant Morrison's interviews with Kevin Smith?
Oh yes, great.
Oh,
Everything
my
about it's
gosh.
great.
I love Kevin Smith, so that
There-
would be interesting.
Yeah, he did a couple of interviews with him, I think, on
Yeah.
his Batman on Batman. Oh my gosh. They are the most interesting but most trippy things ever.
Yeah, if you've never read his autobiography / just essays on superheroes, I can't remember what they're called. I think it's called
Super Gods, right? Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Super Gods, super good.
Gods is super
That's
good. Now,
that's
and
an
it has
endorsement.
my favorite quote about super. Sorry, we will talk about Dungeons and Dragons in a second.
That's cool. That's
It
cool.
has my
Yeah.
favorite quote about superheroes ever, which is Alan Moore making fun of comic book fans, or Grant Morrison making fun of comic book fans by saying, "Little," and he says it much more eloquently than this, but little kids don't ask why Superman can fly because they know he's not real. But adults are like, well, how can Superman fly, and how can Batman,
Who
drive
changes the tires on the Batmobile?
Yeah, who changes the tires on the Batmobile? Because they think too much, and they don't. No, it's just not real. Who cares?
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah, you're not getting it.
You're not getting
Yeah.
it. He's not real. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Which is also every comic book he's ever written. It's just, at some point, someone will turn to the reader and be like, this isn't real, right? Like, this is a comic book.
Except for
Oh, direct
Zatanna,
arrest.
when she says that she needs my help and reaches out to the page, and we cast a spell together. Andrew, we've gotten off page. You want to get back to D&D, or
I Spy Krista.
Yeah. Krista says hi.
Hi, Krista.
Everyone says hi.
she's haunting our stream like the Ring.
Ooh, new Dread Realm.
I like a good
Dread Realm, the Ring. Put it after
Oh,
Newsies.
the Ring. I thought you
Doing
said the
Newsies
Rain.
first.
I don't like the Ring.
I'm
Scary.
doing Newsies first. I just saw Newsies, and it was really good.
But in the Dread Realm, can Christian Bale be the ruler, but he's like a Newsies version of Bruce Wayne?
Oh, he's
Dark
gone
Knight.
evil. So we're not doing
He's like,
Pulitzers.
we're
the
to be
Dread Realm.
extra.
Yeah. Unions are the bad guy there. I like it.
Right.
It's very 2019.
Bless you, coffee.
Thank you.
So I've come to sort of a conclusion on
Okay.
Uh-huh.
my class. Druid Circle the Shepherd is on roll cool and roll up my alley. So
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with that.
Do you have an idea on race or not really?
I was really sold on Shatterkai, but now I'm not sure if that super fits into
With
my
for bonuses.
idea.
Okay.
Well,
no problem.
not even so much that. It's just I'm into a lot of flavor.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm,
No,
I'm not sure
absolutely.
if a Shatterkai super fits into the flavor of a shepherd, druid of the shepherd there. So I'm gonna have to think on that
Okay.
one.
Yeah,
I'll
that's no
have a
problem. So
second.
so we have a lore bard, a alchemist, or an artificer, and you're going to be the artillerist, Sean. Okay, and we have a druid circle of the shepherd. These notes are a mess, and I will have to figure this out later. Okay, a circle.
Yeah.
There we go.
Now, and this will be coming up a lot in the next couple months, but some natural comedy is just going to come out of the players. I actually, some of my favorite comedy is just from that character, right? Like, it doesn't even have to be it doesn't have to be in-world funny so much as, oh
Right.
shit, you just nailed it. Like,
Right. There's humor from being the character being the character.
right. Like,
Yeah.
Dr. McCoy.
Liz kind of
Liz,
embodies that
fucking
to me.
Liz.
yeah, absolutely. Every time Gale does psychic damage by dressing down one of the bad guys
Or,
and
what
telling them
was
they're
the-
not that cool,
What was
love it.
What was the line from the last episode?
Oh my god. Okay, and I hope you're still watching, Liz, because I have quoted this to Andy at least 3 times this week. It's, you're evicted. Could we put that another way? You have 5 days. What's your immediate follow-up? And it's the fucking best.
It's literally my favorite thing.
Yes, so tickled. So yeah, and that was actually actively funny too, but sometimes it's just, just nailing what the character should do and all the players are laughing. How serious of a tone do we want to strike our Phlogiston adventure in space? Considering already Phlogiston's a funny word.
Yeah, no,
Andy?
I think a lot of what Sean talked about at the very beginning is going to be true. This is going to be pulpy. Like, this is going to be Indiana Jones. That doesn't mean it can't be serious, because Indiana Jones fights Nazis, and that's serious, and people's faces get melted in those movies. I think it will probably be about where Task Force Unlikely is for that frame of reference. So it will be serious, but we'll
occasionally fight a weird house.
Yeah, you're
Like
gonna fight
a
weird
like a-
house,
like
or
Guardians of the Galaxy kind of tone.
it's going to be kind of. It's I don't think it's going to be as serious as Strike Team Beta was going.
Mm-hmm.
That was serious.
That was
Capital
serious.
S serious.
And again, we still laughed a lot as players on that stream.
Oh
but
my god.
my character wasn't laughing a whole lot for sure. Man, because I can and again, there's worth considering that some of these can come in as NPCs, and I'm at least guesting once as Chava. I don't know, I just don't have a character yet. It's the only time, and I know plenty of people, and bless you out there in D&D land, I know plenty of people who build race class first and then come up with the character. I've never thought that way. So I have no idea what my character would be, other than a Hester of some ilk is my strongest lead on the halfling diviner wizard.
But you feel like you can't go forward with that until you talk to your friend?
I would like her permission. I don't know that it's necessary.
I actually don't think she would say no, but I think she would.
Yeah,
I think she would be tickled by that idea.
Yeah. Because my other thing is the tiefling named Disappointment, which I figure is probably canon by now. And Viljana, I'm pretty much willing to strike from the list. And boy, it's another missed opportunity for Viljana. Somewhere she's waiting in the week. She'll get there someday. So I've at least narrowed it down to 2. I have nothing on this half, but that will be part of the next 2 weeks, is coming up with who and how on this halfling.
Does that excite you more than fleshing out this tiefling?
The tiefling, I immediately have some juice because it triggers a bunch of my favorite things. It has mommy issues. We all know I like that. By the way, my mother is a lovely person. We get along perfectly fine. I am fine. Merrily, my mom's actual name, is fine.
Yay.
But I do think we have plenty of boys with daddy issues in fiction. I think we need a lot more girls with mommy issues in fiction. We have exactly 2. We have Wonder Woman and Black Canary, and it's not enough. Get there. Fiction.
Does Wonder Woman have issues with Hippolyta?
Well, yeah, because she has to. When she leaves the island, she's
just because she has to leave.
But she gets banished, and that's a whole thing.
Right. Hippolyta cannot let her back. So. And so she has to say goodbye to her daughter, even though she's doing a good thing. It's not the same kind of tension. Black Canary, I have like a 2-hour hunk just on that alone. Andy, alternate days, me talk about Black Canary and her mother.
Dinah Drake.
Drake and Dinah Laurel Lance are the fucking best. And their like stepmother level of hate for each other is fucking great. Or not hate. It's more complicated than that. Anyway.
Competition.
So, but I like that. So I like building that into characters. It's not that my Marilee's fine. I'm fine. That's not one of my personal issues. But I like it in fiction, and being a disappointment is a good character concept. Man, I may not resolve this by the end of tonight's stream, but I will resolve it between. But does anyone else have an opinion on it? I know. Again, I joked earlier.
For the halfling, or which character?
Yeah, to be a diceomancer, or to be either a warlock or probably a divine soul sorcerer.
Divine soul sorcerers are cool.
They're super cool.
They're one of my favorites.
I'm already playing a divine soul sorcerer, but this would be an evil probably aligned, so they'd get Bane or one of those because their parentage would lean them that way. They wouldn't be evil. Their divine soul would come from an evil source.
Of that idea, because I had
I like it too, actually. The super lucky diceomancer, as you put it, the probability, whatever, wizard, is awesome. 2, in 4E, I really Scion. I love playing Scion, and the Time Bender Paragon Path was cool because you could, at the top of every combat, what you get, Bar from the Future. And Loan from the Past was the one. So at initiative, you'd roll a die, and whatever that was, you had in your pocket to throw on any die 20 in the encounter, including the enemies.
Yeah,
so if it was low, you could make them miss, or if it was high, you could nail them. Yeah, and I always loved that. It was kind of cool. And I just loved it, the resource management of all of that. It was really cool. So I sort of feel like that is the closest thing in 5e to that, really.
Yeah.
The build that you're describing. So it's kind of cool. But I like the Divine Soul Sorcerer character. Sounds really interesting. Especially if you that whole thing of like, I'm not bad, I just was born into this.
Yeah.
And maybe
I'm not
you're
bad,
disappointed because you're not evil.
Yes, exactly that.
No.
And
It's like, you can't even kill a puppy, or whatever.
yeah, why would I want
Who
to
have
kill
you
a puppy?
tortured
Exactly.
today? Tell me disappointment.
Nobody's mom. I don't want to hurt people.
Wow.
Um,
No daughter of mine.
Lying on the sending stone. Yeah, no, I'm torturing someone right now, and your friends are like, oh,
Somebody scream.
oh, in the background.
oh my god, is that the best scream you can do? That's terrible. Now, at the same time, I've been pushing
Todd.
myself lately to try to be doing as many different things as possible, and I feel like I'm playing tiefling, succubus, disappointment adjacent things elsewhere, whereas I'm not playing a halfling, diviner, wizard elsewhere.
I think that is the most kind of outside of your
Of my wheelhouse
of your
thing, right?
wheelhouse. And that's not a bad thing. I think we're all trying a bunch of new stuff.
No,
and
yeah,
I think it's yielding really good results.
I was going to say that one of the things that attracted me most to your tiefling idea is that you have stated before that you don't really dig tieflings.
Mm-hmm.
And so
That's the other thing. This is my push to try to appreciate tiefling.
And so to me, that's kind of you finding a middle point where you're still taking like a backstory and a character concept that you like with not necessarily like a race that you enjoy, and kind of like marrying those two things to like, find them. So I think if you're looking for like a baby step into doing something different, then that is more appealing to me.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to just deep dive into the deep end, then the halfling is gonna be more of the direction I would push you in. But it's just what you're feeling. Like,
yeah,
I love Marty characters, so
Now, sorry, go ahead, Sue.
I'm just not going to push you away from doing something that you love, especially if it's you trying to toe the line of like doing something new.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say is you're about to start playing 2 more characters monthly.
Mm-hmm.
Do either of these characters explore something that you don't think those characters will explore?
Yeah, I mean, spoilers on the one. Yeah, the tiefling is literally almost the meeting of my 2 concepts in both the other 2 streams. That is a mark against. They're not overlapping, but they are the closest in signature, right? Like they're going to read the same on the meter, which is what I'm. Great object work, Marty. You're doing it. Whereas, yeah, you know what? I'll stake my claim so we can make sure it's in before the end of the stream. I'm going to try and make a character out of this race class combo I have. I'm going to go with the Halfling Diviner Wizard.
Okay.
And I will save the Tiefling Disappointment for another stream.
Or it could be the other character,
Yeah.
the away team character, or
right, yeah, and for sure, because actually I've backdoor created a family of succubi across, and it actually has infected the stream. No one asked Hava where she had been on the crossover, but it actually ended up tipping off another thing that we had done on stream. It's fine. All right, Halfling Diviner
Was that
Wizard.
why you were smoking on a fire?
Yeah,
Yes, I was coming from the fire plane.
I remember that. Yeah.
And in our water plane adventure, we had met the littlest, the succubus runt named Skank. That was the youngest sister of the family. And Chava had been working for another succubus working on the fire plane, who was very sympathetic to other planar creatures' plights on the fire plane. So she gave them jobs as slaves to help protect them. It's a whole other. That's a 20-minute hunk on its own. All right. So Halfling Diviner Wizard is my name.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
You did it.
Halfling Diviner Wizard _8.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're pushing up against our time. So we have the legendary Storm of Stars. A
going way out of the wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Obviously.
A Druid of the Shepherd, a Artificer Artillerist, and a Halfling Diviner Wizard. Okay. So I think we're all going to start on the Rock of Brawl. How you all got there is up to you. So we'll have to talk about how Storm of Stars got there, but everyone else, it's however you want to get there is fine.
Right.
If you want to hop on the same, because if you want to walk, there's a door in Silvery Moon that leads to the moon.
There's a door in Silvery Moon that leads to the moon.
You just gotta get on the good side of a wizard named Magellan. She's one of Baba Yaga's daughters. She's the good one.
She's the good one.
She's now what's her
Tasha of Tasha's Hideous Laughter. She's the bad one.
She's the bad one, but it's
Egg Wolf, right? Where is this
Silvery Moon. There's a door to the Rock of Brawl.
And Storm of Stars has access to a ticket from Port of Call to the moon.
That's
which
true.
absolutely do it, because I'm going to guest on our own stream at some point.
Do it. I'll do it.
So
I just have to think about why.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a cat. There's that.
Yeah.
It's
Curious.
The most adventure.
And
It is the most adventure. I've never
keep
been
in mind,
there.
Chava's a cat too. She's going to get it to a certain point. There's going to be a certain amount of yes. Of course.
Right. Of course he touched the big bright candy colored button.
Yeah. We'd all do it.
If poor
doing it
Hava
right
gets
now.
ripped away to another plane and leaves behind her ticket.
Oh, God damn it.
No. Okay.
With permission from our friend offline, I will either be a Hester from this plane who's just kind of like, well, this Hester's already doing it. My destiny's clearly somewhere else.
She got there 2 days late.
Yeah. Or she would just be taking the transfer bus elsewhere.
Transfer it.
Yeah. It's the Rock of Brawl. Yeah. They've got a great Cinnabon here.
A little overpriced if you ask me. Airport
If you
food.
ask me.
Saul Goodman's the manager.
Okay. Any final thoughts?
I'm excited.
We're gonna be spell jamming.
Spell jamming, man. Absolutely.
Oh, and we'll have to
I've only know about it like so slantingly.
This will be my first spell jammer campaign. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I know that Pruitt, that's his jam. No pun intended, and yet very intended. I've osmosed that from his episodes, and I've heard that's the campaign he runs like currently, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And our wish earlier is that somewhere he has a set of 3 tables that he would just roll, make his campaigns or his sessions, and he just aggregated all of like Deep Space Nine, Next Generation, Mass Effect, whatever, and like into a D100 table per thing. And it was like you meet a legendary hero on a catastrophic event with a whatever, and like
right.
By rolling on 3 tables, his adventure was already made. Like, because you already have the source to draw from of like,
right.
Oh, I can take from this episode of Babylon 5 and this episode of this and this thing of that, and I'll make it a dwarf instead, and we're off.
Right.
That's what I want him to publish.
That's an orc instead.
Yeah.
It's not a Klingon, it's an orc.
Yeah.
Send him a message. Send him a DM. He's cool.
Send him a web DM.
Send him one of them webs.
Any other final thoughts? And then we'll do plugs and outros and all that jazz.
I have flavor questions, but I can ask them off stream.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
And we'll have to think of a cool title. Right now, it's just spell jamming.
Spell jamming across the universe.
Yeah.
Dragon Nards? No.
Dragon Nardzy.
Daring did it.
Oh no, wait, there was still
Daring doing it.
There's
Daring doing it. That's it. Daring.
Daring do Dragon Nardzy. There's so much to do
In space!
space.
With like 5 A's.
Yeah.
5 A's in space.
So much to daring do. 69, the sex number. We got there.
I'll have to see if any of my Stars Without Number name can be applied to this.
There we go. There we go.
Okay. Thank you all so much. This was, I feel like, a really fun and great conversation, even when we didn't talk about D&D.
Absolutely.
And I have a whole page of notes now that are like a serial killer wrote them. Just circles and arrows and underlines. And
The neighbor's dog is talking to me again.
so outros and plugs. Timothy.
Hi, I'm Timothy, at Timothy Magic on Twitter, Timothy McCown Reynolds on Instagram. I make art, various media. I love playing D&D, and I love playing D&D with these people. Hooray! Woo!
Soup.
Hi, I'm Soup, aka Soupska. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I just posted 2 things yesterday. I have a huge Pokemon tattoo project that I've been working on, so I'm going to be posting more and more things from that as I complete it. And also D&D related, on Mondays, my work is extremely slow, so I'm going to try and paint as many minis as I can on Mondays. So look forward to more pictures of that. I currently have base colors on a Remoraz, so we'll see where that goes.
Everyone's favorite cute boy.
Nice. Yay!
It's not cute. It's a monster.
No, they're
Everyone I asked said it was cute.
Yep. Those people are not your friends.
Yay!
Okay.
There he is.
Coming in hot.
Sean.
Hello, my name is Sean. I have a channel on Twitch called PowerScore RPG. Last Sunday we played Dungeon Academy. They're getting the pieces of the Rod of 7 parts. They now have 3. The third one, each one is in a different D&D setting. So the fourth one is actually in a Spelljammer product. So,
Oh, shoot.
last time the group had requested a beach episode, so last time we did a beach episode, and I went on TV Tropes and I looked for beach episode stuff. Soup likes anime, right? Because one of the things
you have to have an obligatory anime or beach episode.
Okay.
Or hotspot.
So
Beach or hotspot.
They played a game called Suakawari. Does that sound? They're
Suikawari?
blindfolded. Yeah.
You're blindfolded and you spin around and then you hit with a wooden sword and or baseball bat a watermelon.
Okay, good.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like a pinata. Pinata.
Yeah, kind of.
Blind man's buff or blind man's back.
Instead of each other, I feel a lot better about that.
Watermelon in Japanese is suika, so suikawari.
So they did that, and they played volleyball against an alternate universe version of the group on the Morning Kindness Path of the Plains show.
Yes.
And,
I love Hellions.
Yeah, I love any kind of fake version or alternate.
Yeah.
And at the end, they actually pulled Strahd out of Barovia, which was falling apart, and now he's a member of their crew on their Spelljammer. So.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Need to have
Was he in Surf Jam shorts?
Not yet.
Yeah, all right. Still
now
time.
you have to branch off your beach episode into the obligatory haunted house/storm episode where it's storming and you hide inside a house and then it becomes a haunted house. This is how anime works.
That's your business, but that's your business.
Marty.
Yes. Hello, Internet. I didn't see you come in. No, we addressed this last week. Goodness forbid you come in every other week looking for this premium content. But yes, we have recently lost a member, which is part of why we're doing this. Not in real life. She's fine. She's alive. But I will just say, go to zombarber.com and buy Unlucky as my plug in honor of our girl there. That's my plug.
Yay!
You can get it on the Kindle. They have some kind of like store where you can get one book a month. I'm part of that, and that's how I got it. So. And she gets paid for that. So
yeah, do it.
It's a good book too. It's a good book.
Plugged it better than I did somehow. Son of a bitch.
Next week at this time slot, Task Force Unlikely is back in this weird house where they will continue to go through that weird house. I'd like to point out I didn't make it up.
It's a weird house, though, right?
Super
like
weird.
I feel vindicated.
It's a weird house.
Oh Jesus!
Oh really?
Yeah, they're going through Castle Amber. Yeah, no, it's weird as shit.
I'm very excited.
I love it.
I love.
It's weird as hell.
The 80s were a different time.
Yes,
a different
they were.
time. Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Good point, Andy.
And Jeff D. and Jim Ross left start.
And I'm going to change the end, but the end is weird. I don't know if I'm making it any less weird, but I'm changing it.
You're not making it any less weird.
Don't worry about it. And then starting in May, I mentioned this last week as well, we are going to be streaming on Mondays in addition to Wednesdays. So the first Monday of the month will be Stars Without Number, Phantom Horizons, with Timothy and Marty, and then Liz and Daniel. The second Monday will most likely be me, just my face, doing GM prep and Stars Without Number faction turns. But I might also play some Call of Cthulhu solo adventures so I can teach myself how to play Call of Cthulhu. Because on the third Monday of the month will be our Down Darker Trails Call of Cthulhu stream with Soup, Marty, Liz, and Mira called Twilight Trails. It's
cool.
Eldritch Horror in the Old West.
You mean
Awesome.
Jay and Mira, not Liz and Mira?
Jay and Mira. I thought I said Jay, sorry. And then the fourth Monday of the month will be a show called Not Barovia, where I go over Ravenloft lore and adventures of things that aren't Barovia, because there's a lot more to Ravenloft than just Barovia.
Cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
So, that's it.
You're doing great work.
Everybody have a great night.
Stay tuned.
Stay
Ring
tuned
that bell.
for Spell
Hit
Jamming.
that subscribe.
Dragon
Do it.
Nards.
Slip.
Z.
Disrespect that subscribe button.
Chala,
Cat Shatter at a third level, and that's subscribe button.
Gonna break your monitor.